No, it is not. And I'll give a very simple example. At the slide, you can see two quotations from the Cambridge Dictionary. No, back. It's not Shakespeare yet. We have not come to C2 with Shakespeare. It's only, B1 and C1 there. So why do I want to show these words to you? International exams are based on the Common European Framework of Reference, and Russian national exam follows the framework in spirit, but not in word, and not in every word. And I mean it both metaphorically and literally. We do not depend so much on labeling the words and using lists of words for different levels, and we do not stick to the lists given in international exams. Sure. In fact, we have many linguistically and methodologically valid doubts about labeling words according to levels. Have a look at the word scientist. It is labeled as B1, but the word science is A2. And if a student knows the word science, and a student has to learn it because it's a name for one of the school curriculum subjects, why not learn scientist? And then the content-based approach makes us think of the subjects on which our students should speak. And scientific development, famous scientists and their and what they did for the science, that's an important part of our 7th, 8th, 9th grade curriculum. So the word scientist is absolutely necessary. And our student can't wait till the 10th or 11th grade to learn the word scientist. The word officially is an even more interesting example because it is labeled at C1. So our student is not supposed to learn, to understand, to use the word officially within the school curriculum at all, because C1 is higher than even what is required in a specialized school,
Okay, Maria Valerina, small question. So we cannot compare Russian national and international exams because they have different auditories and different aims. Russian speaking environment.
Why not? We can compare, but we should understand the basic difference. There's different aims, because an exam is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. And we should understand what we teach, what for do we teach this and not that, and how to assess, how to check what we are teaching. So this is very important. And that's why for us is very important the concept of языковая догадка. It's very difficult to translate it into Russian. I'm afraid they don't have an equivalent to this term.
We are very short on timing. Could you please tell us whether RNA is going to stay the same, or is it going to change?
It is going to change, and it's only natural because the language changes, people change, teachers and students, and which is most important, the federal standard, the federal education standard changes. So we are on the brink of a new Russian national examination. In the near future, the model will be published on the site of the Federal Institute for Pedagogical Measurement, FIPI, in Russian, and a very simple website, fipi.ru. And we'll have very many novelties there, integrated tasks, and not only that, but meta content, interdisciplinary tasks, and all of that will be introduced. But the introduction will take about 2 years. So it's not tomorrow. The Russian national examination in the year 2021 will be the same as it used to be for 10 years, but in 2022, it will start to change. Some new tasks will be introduced, but after a very long discussion, almost 2 years discussion and a lot of pre-testing. Now, perhaps, yes, the final. Now, the next slide, please, and the, yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have the time for it. We have 10 minutes left. Okay.
Okay. Then
just 1 minute to finish your presentation.
I would like, with a little help from Shakespeare, to answer the question which I posed as the title, to test or not to test. That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous parents, or take arms against traditional assessment, and by testing end it. No more reference tests, no more topics, no more translation, and by R&E to say we end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that entrance examination brings to examinee. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. And
Bravo.
The final, the next slide, please, the final slide, where I say thank you for your attention. And still I say that teaching comes before testing. So please get acquainted with all that our authors offer. And here are some of what I can offer as a result of my teaching career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria Valerievna. So basically, the question of to test is not to test is not anymore important. The important question is what to test.
Thank you very much. I'd like to share my presentation. Can you see it? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Well, dear friends, dear colleagues, from the very beginning, I would like to point out, and by putting particular emphasis on it, that I'm on the same wavelength, both with the authors, developers of the Russian national exams, and those who find Cambridge and other international exams one of the best ever created to test our students' language abilities. And now, being all ears, by the way, having listened to both glorious speakers, thank you, ladies, very much, while I can say for sure that we are all on the same side. We really understand each other. I think, so to say, see eye to eye. Well, both Russian and international or Cambridge exams, as we got used to calling them, provide, from my point of view, riveting leading ranges of English language qualifications. These exams are backed by outstanding support for learners and teachers and by deep national and world-class research, consultancy, and surely quality management. That is self-evident for us. That is, so to say, axiomatic. And for me, as an experienced English teacher, these exams accurately reflect on a great idea of high standards we have in education. And that's great, because learning English is more than just exams and grades. It's about having the confidence to communicate, first of all, and access a lifetime of enriching experiences and, I think, opportunities of our students and for our students. And these exams, these qualifications are designed both by FIPE and Cambridge, especially for example, for school-age students, giving them regular milestones, colleagues, to keep them motivated. Those who work with teenagers nowadays, with teenage students, they know that today's young people are really eager for setting pragmatic, as I call them, down-to-earth aims and targets. And assessment, good and valid assessment helps schools and students to reach the high standards in all these pragmatic objectives. I've been preparing for Cambridge exams for more than 25 years and for Russian national exams for about 20 years, since those early years of 2000 when we all started ЕГЭ in the Russian Federation, and can say for sure that both exams have always been excellent for my student and patently obvious, so to say. They have become valid, trustworthy, and infallible tools of assessment and evaluation. And it's also worth mentioning that all at Cambridge, first of all, assessment English, and at PP, all specialists, they constantly review the exams. They provide, so to say, all ideas of ours and theirs to ensure the exams are accurate, relevant, and fair. And I can confirm that the authors of the Russian national exam listen carefully to feedback from test takers, teachers, experts, and other professionals in the language learning and assessment world. Sometimes this feedback leads the developers to identify areas and where there is a demand for improvement, serious specification. And I'm so to say happy as a humble teacher that I have taken part also many times concerning some new details, some subtleties, peculiarities of the Russian national exams. And both exams, I mean Cambridge exams and Russian national exams, are both in constant progress. For example, Cambridge exams in 2015, proved it for an entirely new exam format. By the way, the same situation is with the uniform state exam in Russia. As we have just learned from Maria Valerievna, that we are having a new 2022 new format of the Russian national exam. And again, take into account, dear colleagues, that developers, the authors, are ready to discuss this model in a professional way and not merely make us accept this exam saying we have done our part and so to say full stop. No. First and foremost, dear colleagues, to give all profis a great opportunity to talk it over. And I hope that pre-testing will be a vital element in this new format examination development process. Because I think that trialing exam materials helps ensure our exam is accurate and fair. And the teachers got used to all interesting new formats and changes, because we are incurable optimists, dear colleagues, who are pretty much game for anything. And speaking about true merits of the Russian national exam, I would like to accentuate, to stress that there are in reality a host of advantages that have brought about global, so to say, all over Russia, positive changes in the field of our national ELT. And dear Maria Valerievna has already mentioned some of them. Nevertheless, for me, as a practical teacher, I outline 4 values that have been playing a very important part, have been of paramount importance, yes, in my teaching career, so to say, because as you have already known, yes, I have been preparing students, yes, for so many years for these exams. Well, 4 values. Value number 1 for me is of great importance, that is called an activity-orientated approach. Surely, it is out of the question that practice makes perfect, and it's important that during all 10 years of learning English at school, our students are involved in a lot of hands-on activities. And it coincides, by the way, with ЕГЭ requirements and specifications. Well, we don't have anything to learn by heart, yes? We should everything what we have in exams to implement, to put into practice, yeah? And that is really great. And by the way, you can scrutinize thoroughly the English formats of our, for instance, neighbors in the Ukraine or in Belarus, for example. That is what I do with my masters at Tver State University, future teachers, yeah? Well, and you will understand that Russian national exams wins. Definitely wins. No tests, you see, as we can imagine them. Text,
I'm sorry, I have to interfere. We have just very few minutes
Yes,
left.
I understand. Text, focused approach. Transparency also plays a great role, because transparency for me, that is openness, yeah? And that is, again, very important. And I here can say for sure is that Russian national exams and international Cambridge exams coincide perfectly. Well, this slide is a very good, so to say, justification, very vivid justification. One and the same student in the 10th class, in the 11th class, and then when she is a student of GMO, that is this autumn. Well, you see this development, and I think that Cambridge, together with Russian national exams, that is a really great idea, what I call in my presentation, deriving strengths from diversity. And I do hope that it will really help students. I think any test can be used either as a kind of assessment of learning or an assessment for learning. And Russian national exams and international exams are exams surely without borders, dear colleagues, in our global time. They are created to be another effective tool to bridge the gap between school reality and young adult life. And 3 questions, rather important for your students, yeah, get them to ask, yeah, while preparing and gearing up for different exams. Exactly how good is my English? What progress have I made towards my learning goal? And what do I need to do next if I want to improve? Thank you, colleagues. Yes, really pressed for time. I understand it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
I still, your expertise, I still have to ask a question. Short. What is the hardest part of Russian national exam for students and for teachers?
Yes, here I have prepared, by the way, my favorite slide, if I can show it. Yes, this one, you see, they are the problematic, so to say, spheres for my students. And what I have italicized in different colors, yes, they're called проблемные or problems assignments, yes, they are 2 tasks for my students, you see, because usually my students get one of the highest scores, you understand, yes? And if they get 95, 96, 97, yeah, well, out of 100, of course, that is great, but still, they have problems with reading. This interactive reading is a great real challenge for them. Yeah, I have already said that is a Google generation, and that is a real challenge, a real obstacle, so to say. And of course, writing, yes, not understanding the format of our essay task 40, but first of all, given to your opinion, first of all, reasoning, you see, well, correct, proper, in a good way, that is a real problem, but still we're doing it, yes, and trying to cope with it. Yeah.
Maria Valerina, does it correlate with official statistic? Microphone.
I was coughing and I switched it
Good.
off. Okay.
Good.
Now, it coincides completely with the official results and with the official viewpoint on what we write in all our articles and books and
recommendations.
Yes. So writing is the most difficult part, and reading is difficult. The third test, the third task in reading is difficult. And these are not communicative difficulties. These are cognitive.
Absolutely right.
You know, it's not that they don't know the words. They know a lot of words, but they can't connect ideas. And that's the problem.
Will this cognitive challenge will only be harder in a new version of exam or less?
No, I am afraid that the cognitive challenge will increase because it will be interdisciplinary, not only.
Thank you for the good news.
But something else, yes.
All teachers got 10s after that. Thank you very much. I would like to make a short summary of our 3 speakers that RNE correlate with international exams. However, it is different for many reasons, and it will develop not outlooking the international exams, but according to its own direction. it has positive impact on teaching and learning. And we are going to mend these sections, changing the national exam.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to tell to our audience that at the end of our conference, we will talk to Maria Valerievna again, and we will be able to ask more questions about Russian national exam and how it's going to change and what should we prepare for in order to help our students. Thank you, dear colleagues.
Thank you, dear colleagues. Yes, it is a pleasure seeing you, yes, and to have listened to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.